So the Rebbe says, okay, bracha, you should have a blessing, you should go to Morocco as well. He walks out of the Rebbe's room and he goes to the Rebbe's secretary. Do you know where Morocco is?
He had no idea. He had no idea. He didn't know what he was getting into.
The Rebbe told him to go to Morocco. Yeah, you want me to go to
don't
Morocco?
ask questions.
Go to Morocco. Yeah. Where's Morocco? I don't know where Morocco.
I thought it was down the block or something.
No, the Rebbe told him to go to Morocco.
Maybe it was
You
a
go
different
to
state, you
Morocco.
know, it's somewhere in
No,
Pennsylvania.
I know. Whatever, right?
Lebanon, Pennsylvania, Morocco, Pennsylvania, same thing.
Again, he was a very simple Jew. You know, the Rebbe tells you to do something, you do it. So, if the Rebbe told him to go to Morocco, then obviously it's a place that he can get to.
Right.
That's it. The Rebbe wouldn't tell him to go somewhere where he couldn't go, right? Obviously, he could get there. So good. So now he just has to figure out how. That should be our approach to Judaism and to, even if you're not Jewish, but the person that serves God, you have to say, where do you want me to go? So, where do you want me to go?
Oh, that's the Indian.
So, now, once you tell me where you want me to go, now I have to figure out how to get there. I'll try my best and whatever.
I was doing some research yesterday.
Yeah.
And I found this rabbi saying that Hashem created Christianity in order for all the pagans to basically believe in the God.
He wasn't the first one that said that.
Oh, he's not.
First pope.
Matter of fact, the Rambam writes that.
Oh, yeah, he said he's going off the Rambam.
Yeah, the Rambam actually says it.
Yeah. Then the whole Toldot Yeshu thing makes sense.
Again, the Rambam says as follows. The Rambam says that in order to prepare the world for Mashiach, Hashem didn't want that people would go from nothing to everything. Meaning, a person is serving multiple gods and all these weird stuff, and he has no sense of true ultimate God, right? And so therefore, to get him from one to the next, it would be too much of a shock. You want it to be some gradual situation.
Right.
So what Hashem did is he allowed two Meshuganas that happened to be preaching something somewhat similar to God's true teachings, right? And he allowed them to become powerful and to become influential.
What this rabbi was saying, he said that Hashem allowed them to perform miracles, even to the point where they were even performing miracles.
Right. Well, first of all, the concept of the Christian founder, he seemingly had access to. He had access. No, he himself had access to a lot of the Kabbalistic powers, which allowed him to do things that were supernatural. No, he had the power. He was connected to these. He had these names and these ways, Kabbalistic chants.
He went to the Kohanim and he took the names.
No, that's a different story. That's a story in the Gemara, and it might not necessarily be that same guy.
Shimon Kippur?
So the first pope's name was Saint Peter by the Christians, but it was Simon Peter. But his name in Hebrew, he was a Chacham, was Shimon Kippur. His name was
Peter means stone.
And he did a mission from the other Chacham. He said, instead of these people calling themselves Jews, I'll have them create a new religion and take them to Rome.
Right, but then again, God allowed, according to the Rambam. By the way, throughout history, the Judaism and Jewish people are actually a very rebellious people, right? You can see that even in the time of Moshe, right? We rebelled. As a matter of fact, our forefather Abraham was a rebellion, right? The whole Judaism started from rebels. We're a bunch of rebels, okay? Rebel rousers.
Rebel rousers.
Yes. Go to America, you see these Jews that unfortunately, you have these Jews in America that aren't very connected with the Torah path, right? And you see that there's a saying that if you don't believe in something, you believe in everything, right? So you'll find that in all these nutty protests with all these crazy things that some of these protesters are trying to put forward, you'd find that a lot of these people are Jewish.
A lot of them.
Yeah, because it's in our nature. I'm telling you, rebellion is in our nature. It's who we are, right? Now we can rebel for the good, or we can rebel for the evil. It's up to us, right? Do you want to rebel for the good, or do you want to rebel for the evil? So that's why God gave us the Torah. What? What do you say? You want to rebel for the evil?
No, I'm saying how.
Huh? But
No. Say it.
what? Do you,
How do you rebel for the evil? How do you rebel?
I mean, you try to destroy what's good. You try to.
Democrats did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you become a
Thanks,
Democrat.
Obama.
Yeah, just register as a Democrat.
It's so interesting how so many people they look at the Democrats as like the
Demon rats.
Yeah.
Demon rats.
Why did the political party become so?
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah. How did that happen? I don't know.
Thanks, Obamacare.
Anyways,
I mean, I was somewhat joking about that. But
About
a
what?
lot of people, about being evil. However, I do know most people I know who are Democrats, not Jews. However, a lot of people I went to high school with are very liberal and very Democrat leaning, and they also just so happen to believe in a lot of either satanic or pagan ideas.
so pagan. You're saying pagan, and you see this correlation between pagans and Democrats. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Got it.
I went to a public high school in Florida, and
Yeah.
a lot of people I knew were like very blatant about being into paganism and
Witchcraft and
Satanism.
sorcery.
Right. Well, again, as I told you, I
I
put it this way: the Democratic Party, for some reason, attracts a lot of this secularist, which means "quote unquote" atheistic, secular, not connected to a particular spiritual practice. And as I said, there's a saying that if you don't believe in something, you believe in everything. So what happens is when you have these people that officially don't believe in anything, they end up coming up with weird beliefs and they do satanic rituals because it seems cool, it seems fun, or whatever it is.
Make it all hokey
Yeah.
and shady.
Listen, I've had someone explain to me, what they call like the satanic rules or whatever.
Yeah.
And
There's actually some type of book called like the Satanic Bible or something. No, is it
No,
some
satanic Bible.
It's just
called? Yeah.
The latest edition was by Anton Levine. I've had
Who's a
someone
Jew?
explain it to me. And if
Another
you
Jew,
don't
a Jew.
know- If you don't know
These Jews, these
enough
Jews
about
writing
this,
books.
it's
The only
actually-
question is how did Muhammad get so big if he wasn't Jewish?
He stole a lot of Jewish concepts.
Yeah, but how come? But look at all the other people could have stole.
Because Rabbi, let me explain to you
Stop
something.
learning
Rabbi, let me say something. Arabs,
Yeah.
Arabs, if you look statistically,
Yeah.
Arabs have very low IQ. This is real.
Yeah,
so
really.
So their study, the average IQ is like below 75, which is retarded.
However,
So it's easy to manipulate retards.
Yeah.
You just tell them, oh, God spoke to me.
Yeah, but why was he successful and other people weren't? That's my question.
Maybe it's
And
the same
what I would
Indian.
suggest, by the way, is that he actually ended up marrying Jewish women. Yeah, as a matter of fact, they say the Quran was written by his wife, who was a Jew, and so it wasn't that he.
Wait, Aisha was Jewish?
I think so. Yeah, I think
He
so.
married a 6-year-old Jew.
Yeah, he killed the whole family and took her
Oh my God.
to marry. Yeah, speaks about that. It's crazy stuff. He basically killed them off. He killed off the whole Jewish community, except for this young girl, and he married her. Brazil.
Maybe it's like what the Rambam said. Maybe it's the same meaning with Islam. Is that Hashem gave him powers also in order to spread the
Could be.
spread
Could be.
one God.
The answer to why does
They
anything
do
happen?
believe in
Because
one
that's
God.
the component.
All right.
Wait, Rabbi, I wanted to say one more thing, Rabbi. One more thing.
I know this guy just wants everything.
Just one more thing, one more thing, Rabbi,
One more
one more
thing.
thing.
One more thing. One more thing. What do you want to say?
Because you were talking about this Bible
Yeah.
of Satan and stuff.
Yeah.
And so like the guy who like was in charge of Satan,
Yeah.
like the head of like he's basically the Havdil, the Rebbe of Satanism.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jewish.
And then, no, I don't know if he's Jewish or not. But they said like death is it's like they glorify death. So like when they die, it's like a big ceremony.
Why don't they just all kill themselves?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So anyways, when he was on his deathbed, he was like sitting on his deathbed, and all of a sudden he was like about to die, and he saw this light of like pure light of like straight Elikus, and he started freaking out. He's like, "Oh, what have I done? What have I done? What have I done?" And then he died. That was his last words.
This was Anton Levine.
It's
Yeah.
like, what? Yeah. Is that his name?
The guy who made the
Satanist?
Satanic Bible.
Yeah.
Anton Levine.
He's
Yeah.
like, "What have I done? What have I done? What have I done?"
And then he died.
And he died.
You know,
Like his whole life, he was like worshiping Sitcha Opera,
get
Yeah.
wrecked, fam.
and then he figured out on his last second that he made it.
Well, maybe he did tshuva.
Maybe that was his
Maybe that was his tshuva. Anyways, could be. Anyways, let's go back to the Gemara. All right, the Gemara of this week is we once even called it spooky, but we didn't call it spooky this time, I don't think, because I don't see enough people coming on our show.
Should I call it spooky again?
If you call it spooky, yesterday you called it spooky, we were packing out over here. We couldn't, you know.
Hashtag spooky.
Yeah, we almost got canceled off of YouTube. They said too many people coming. Yeah, no, they don't. They go cancel. They don't cancel you for having too many people watching.
Too much eloquence.
Yeah. Anyways, we had this little piece of Gemara that we began in the beginning, which you should learn it, but I'm not going to be so particular on it. Yeah, which speaks about the shulchan, the table for the showbreads in the temple. And the table of the showbreads in the temple, the Gemara said, had to be made of parts that could easily be taken apart. Why? Because how else would you dip it in a mikvah that was 1 amma by 1 amma if it itself was 1 amma? Now, I have a question for you. What happens if you have something that is square, an amma by an amma? If you put it in by the corners, you have a little extra space, and then you could dip it. That's my question. Reuben's like, I didn't even think of this. This is so brilliant question, Rabbi. I thought you were less brilliant until you asked that question. Now I think you're more brilliant than even that. Right? Seriously, if you have a square, if you do it diagonally, you have more space. So why can't you put, if you have a square amma by amma, and then you have something that's an amma by amma. So if you don't have to put it in straight like this, you put it in sideways. Then it should work. Right? The only issue, yeah.
The next segment will
Not a triangle. We have a square. We have a square. 1 by 1 by 1 by 1. Square. Okay? Yeah? And if you have a square that's 1 by 1 by 1, you have more, you have about 1.5 when you're coming down to the side. You have plenty of room. Yeah. The only thing is that you could argue that we're talking about with the legs or without the legs. However, I will point out that we're talking about splitting. The Rashi clearly says about splitting the actual table into two to make it smaller, which is an interesting thing. An interesting side point about the tabernacle, which, by the way, is spoken about in this week's Parashas Teruma. I do want to mention that, unfortunately, one of the pillars of the Tzfas English-speaking Jewish community passed away today. He actually is, or I should say, I don't know, is a supporter of YTD in the past. I'm not sure. You can ask Rabbi Pasternak how much he's actually given, but he's contributed a lot to this yeshiva. We should mention his name is Hillel van der Veen. A very interesting Jew. You met him before? Yeah, he's a very good Jew. I ate by his house a few times. Hillel van der Veen. Yeah.
He's the one who made Mashiach Ali, actually.
He pretty much built
Mashiach Ali?
He pretty much built Mashiach Ali. Yeah. As a matter of fact, he claims that he owns Mashiach Ali. Well, he claimed that once. Mashiach Ali. You never see Mashiach Ali? In the old city, there's a Mashiach Ali. So he owns the buildings on both sides of the alley. Yeah.
How long has the alley been away?
Huh?
How long has it been around? So is that for like a couple hundred years?
Yeah, they say it is, but I mean, he built it up. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Oh, like renovated.
Yeah.
No, he built the stairs.
He built the stairs? Could be. Yeah. Good. Where are we?
Abraham said you don't want to live there because you can't get a washing machine through the Mashiach Alley.
It's tough, right? Yeah, they bring him in, but why can't you come in from the other side?
No, there's a tight spot. There's 2 units in Mashiach Alley.
Yeah.
One of them, you can get in from the other side of the way.
Yeah.
The middle one is like in the middle of the Mitzrayim there.
But if you go from the other side, maybe you could.
No, it's still like...
Can't do it?
May his soul be elevated.
May his soul be elevated. Well, we're gonna wait. And he's not yet been buried. His levaya is at 2:00, and yeah.
Does that mean his soul's still by his body or what?
I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. Yeah. Good. Anyways, then we went on to the new Gemara where we said that you should not drink less than 4 cups of wine at the Pesach Seder. And then we said, hold on a second. 4 is a double. And pears will suscept you to demonic
Influence.
influence. Yeah, I guess so.
Shalom. Shalom.
Yeah. Anyways, so that was the question. The question is, how on earth did the rabbis tell you to do 4 cups of wine if 4 cups of wine can possibly harm you because you are being susceptible to demonic, possession? Yeah. So we answered that the 3rd cup is in fact the cup of Birchat HaMazon. And the cup of Birchat HaMazon, the cup of grace after meals, will connect for good, but will not connect for evil. So in other words, it will connect with the 2 to prevent the demons from having power, but it will not connect to the 4th to give the demons power. You're curious. I don't know. I'm just trying to use English words that sound cool and applicable to our conversation. Right? You're possessed. Huh? Does sound cool? Thank you. Thank you.
What does it say? What's the translate? What's the word in the Gemara uses?
For what?
For the demonic situation.
No, it just says they can harm you. It says they can harm you. You're susceptible to demonic harm. Yeah. Ravina says no, it's a little different. Ravina says the reason why this is not an issue is because each cup was established independently of the other, and therefore it's kind of its own thing. Each one's its own thing. Yosef Yitzchak, I would highly prefer if you're not on your phone, even if you're watching me. Huh? What? What the negative what?
I was doing research on the Gemara.
What the negative what? On what? What are the demonic spirits? What do you want to know about the demonic spirits about? Leave them alone. Do what God asks you to do. He asks you to do the Torah mitzvahs. Stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. What's wrong with you? You need to know about the demons. They need to know about you. They should be, Yitzchak's learning Torah, etc. Yeah. By the way, I want to point out that this thing keeps on flashing on and off of the internet. I've seen it come up here. And it's interesting because we paid all this money to have this fiber stuff. And then this internet is very quaky, right? I don't know, but I've seen it. No, not just here, by the way. I've seen it on my own computer when I'm using it. Sometimes the internet just goes.
Well, that might be something for the whole city. There might be some kind of.
I'm telling you, I used it yesterday. Oh, electronic warfare.
Could be.
All right, let's go. Okay, so we got that. Good. So once we got past that, we started going into the whole concept of pairs and how anything with an odd number could technically invite demons to harm. Okay, don't,
Even number, yeah.
Even number. Sorry, anything with an even number could invite harm. We said you should not eat, drink in pairs, and we said technically you should not even do relations in pairs, right? And then we asked, hold on a second. Once you finish relations once, then the other one is kind of you kind of move on. So how does that work? And Abaya says because it really means that if you drank 2, you should not even have relations once, because having relations actually weakens the body, and since it weakens the body, it makes you more susceptible to demonic damage. Huh? How do you agree? So you're agreeing with me or are you agreeing with the Gemara?
Both.
Oh. Okay. Good. And we went on then, and we said about Tanu Rabbanon. We had the rabbis that taught that if you drink in pairs, your blood is in your head, which means that you're basically responsible for your own death. Yeah.
So never don't have Phil Chaim, have to read.
Yeah. Anyways, we went back and forth about, you can see, if you see the face of the marketplace. By the way, if you want to know a marketplace, you walk right outside here. So if you over here on Wednesdays, you can definitely drink as much as you want. You drink a cup, you go, you look over. There's yeah, you go where the old swimming pool was. You can look over and see the shuk, you see the face of the marketplace, and then you come back and drink another cup. Yeah, every Wednesday here.
Why in Jerusalem people go to the shuk to drink?
Yeah, because in the shuk you can drink as much as you want. Crazy, huh? There is a shuk every Wednesday in Tzfaz. Every Wednesday, it's right across the street from Yeshiva. I'm not sure if you noticed it, but after class, I'll give you permission to go to the swimming pool, like where the tent is, and there's like this thing you could stand over there and look over the wall. And if you look over the wall, you'll see the whole marketplace there. Taking place every Wednesday, where it's like a flea market. They have a bunch of vendors that come and they sell. A lot of them are Arabs. You can't necessarily buy food, not from the Arabs, from anybody, because of the problem with truma and meiser. So they don't have a kosher symbol. So many of them don't. Kashrus in Israel is much more complicated than in America. What?
Olive oil will be a problem.
If it's made in Israel, yeah. If olive oil made in Israel would need a hechsher, 100%. Right? And then at the end, we actually went through various numbers. So one person says 10. Once you get up to the number 10, it won't harm you. The other one says no. Even if you get up to the number 8, it won't harm you. And the other one said, even if you get up to the number 7, it won't harm. To 1 to 6, it won't harm you. Then the other one says, even if you get up to the number 4, it won't harm you. Right? Essentially, we're left that the only concept of zugais, the only concept of this is literally, the concept of zugais is only the number 2 can make you susceptible to demonic presence, which demonic presence are not really good presence. They're bad presence. All right, good. Can I know how? That's it. So now that we finished the quota and we went over it briefly, we will give you extra time to learn it on your own. And you know what? How about this? Let's go around the table and see how much people learned. Yeah, let's see you read. Let's see how much you read from the beginning. Yeah. We could put you on the video. You could do it. Can put him on a video? Should we put you on a video?
You're not supposed to embarrass other people.
No, I don't want to. It's up to you. That's why I asked.
I'm embarrassing myself.
So that I don't embarrass this guy, and let's go offline and read the Gemara together with each other. All right, sei gesund. Have a good day. See you.